Partey. Remember matches no eso we were Blackstars eso tickets hun sensem na fi Partey nsem ya sisi aye me no crowd dey chance ya ke beboa pa so that other matches no hun sensem ne ade no ya dey abanye wura Blackstars and so kakra Dr. Franco Naro atranse sanso na Bishop Atta Poku. And so I was a menumgra machina babasha BYT and so I mamuna kwaba eba program ye so Masa you guys are live on air then I'm just
fun who
just some kitro
fun who be show the best the box and me who here minim pabo one in the socks
with them America that's of you know ko totoy that's some kitro wow which of Soboko Soboko with the sepazo short notice na otia edasi all right
Natalia is one there
ne no and so no o se no fake or no version original
God save
na fi o England na nisika no ni already ya
God save the king
England kids no kwa
God save the king you ready difference what they show me the ones that was standing
me the same torn crime also torn
na the stand here me me stand back one try
to me the encourage
back one try
yes
oh me so me
okay England asema yeah
me the refrigerator die
okay
back one try and try
they move 66
that's a munyaka
66 Bishop who's a born trailer
Contra mama video back with color back with black and white no a trailer who colored no is line meanwhile 66 obian himself World Cup yes starting MI live coverage 1970
colored no 4 years after what they
colored me adopted. I adopted video. I'm telling you guys.
And only original.
What was the actual?
Very disturbing. And I pray the authorities should be up and doing to get to the bottom of this issue. African teams shouldn't disgrace us in this year's World Cup to boost the slot of more African countries. Okay, Fufra and so I don't know. Nanadu. Science tutor, Chudwakudia Senior High School, and anyway, and so Abba. Yensha Khaled, no Sukakra. Them. Respect the views of your listeners because I've come to realize that you are very selective in reading of messages. My humble plea. Okay, so ever told me in a macan. Kojo UCC now. Mekai. Kojo UCC. Let's have a talk on messages. So. Hey, I the number of messages I'm for the idea. Okay, I initially told you guys that this is the worst World Cup ever. Denial of players and referees, visas, who are to take part in the tournament. Yakub Diko Ahmed and Sunediwe Breye. All right. And the issues, here and there. Doc, my message is everywhere.
You know, Partey common,
yeah.
The came from Kwechi.
You ever Partey Kwechi?
Yeah.
I didn't know Partey Kwechi.
Because
it's hot to do.
It requires a double approach.
Say
you be doing me.
Yes, yeah.
You see, I'm say I'm a peboniasm.
Okay.
But yeah, the diabolics behind the dynamic.
Okay. We won't fair.
Yeah, but
Bonino be
exactly. And baby, if free buy say kasi shasia. Mom started to side jano.
Okay, we have initial comments and also
the British press instigated
the
British press. The English press instigated this.
You think so?
Yes. The English press. But the moment Omosha say with Achiana Semno, they are one of the biggest players in the political economy of FIFA. Omosha say Omudin Komo say Yen Chiano, Hena Wan Chiano. They drew the attention of the world. Forget about everything. They are the most vocal press in the entire football system. Nti san komo ni nya sha sepe. Ema obia ni bi ade de na betima ye wa de na ntimi nya wa. This is a multi-millionaire sportsman who is playing in the World Cup. Canada is not noted for this. Canada, or my Canada, no, they are not noted for this kind of decisions. For FIFA to have also opened up and said in the release that we have a background. The background is that he can play in the next 2 games. Bibi na akofa bibi abase bibi and bibi na so papam and papa grada. That's my opinion.
Then my English press I instigate Sadi. They no more beginning the bad because certainly I'll bet my boy against England.
What if the damage is done before the ball?
Damage, baby.
Good. Now, say me Ghana campoa. Only footballers nantia, say Franco. Almost show them pedoma for my phone. Say net team psychologist, team manager, curtain impending for more management committee so. And I be call around and catch up and say, "Mususu here's our story now. This is what they would consume on their phone. Nipa no mo could do your money in neko didi. Omo ko trade no money in neko. They would have an impact. He Partey as content confirmed. Almost said the friend camp chemistry.
Okay.
Now Ghana camp on over call no. A juma na ni hono. They say Aba I was impending for a swan.
Yeah.
Time and anke bit me their cancer more there. E dey actually players na catch am say match we ket na no Friday me say o catch say e be share biem no o catch locals no. Answer cry be Croatia match no. Na ya qualify. At this point in time this all ye be for. And now best ubekwa share the FN negative reportage I say. E dey kum team ni sunsun. Especially so ye Ghana ni a. No matter bonia we feel so be aye or Ghana football for the okwan do afa so you don't do negative reportage. Pastor Joe, that was negative reportage. All of a sudden, yeah, nkasa local press no, ni edin komo say the England for years say party omo ncha no ne ade no. Ya match ni nyambo Panama match no, na mum you drew wa then e be. The immediate business was the Panama game. But no more yadwen free so. E dey akọ say ni omo bo a, ombe cha no ana omo ncha no. It is their smart way of destabilizing you.
Okay.
I'm not destabilizing a company.
I see.
They have.
I see. Wow. Dr. Franconaro, the Bishop Ekan, General, I think the president should just recall the team back home and let's boycott the tournament for what will happen if Thomas Partey is eventually found not guilty of the charges leveled against him. Is it going to be just we are sorry and compensate him and the nation financially? Or how are they going to wipe away every discomfort, pain, and agony this may have caused Thomas Partey and the entire nation at large? We simply have to opt out of this tournament. Adam cry and you
see, General, my main more background is tougher.
I was thinking,
Oh, non catcher.
Yes.
You see, many attire again say England press no. You see, Utie in Sema Gabriel Agbon Laho Ekai. Utie even Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I bet him in England for yen Ghana for ni bu ho abom fia. O ma dwen am say ye group o so bi betima how more kwan bi so I can. Omunim Croatia. They know the strength and everything about Croatia, but they are not too sure about us. And I'm sure that based on our previous performances in the World Cup, and it's some talents, Ghanaian talents, in the Premier League in Mutino, say any day Ghana can be a deadly side. So for me, the minds game, me GD say yes, it's a minds game. Start here just to destabilize our camp.
Yeah.
It's also part of football. If you fall for it, you fall for it. Say or yenef a foul when you're an advantage no football no and a clean sport. So say no any minds game or beba within the remits of the law they are permitted. Yeah. At the end of the day, say Drew players in Beja Tum so Becha no Muncha and we another thing. We are no the free honor. Yakobo Sabu okay open back message. Say an accused person is not guilty until it's proven guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction. All those brofuni in our brofun Troy. But General, may privy to a situation in Virginia, Ashburn. There was this black American guy. Na mene kwa mekesi adam fubako ena yeko apartment yeko iduro se no gina honom okita paper white. Ni ebisa ansade abrante ni yi paper na Nisuo Sanane na. Adaya some
Black guy.
yeah, black American.
Okay.
No, I lost kakra.
Okay.
Oyi people no fin, but you bisa the question no omuya for ye people and say na Nisuo Sanane. And obisa say Leon Aden. I said some 5 years ago, no living in Maryland. Omo accusing of rape. And me adeni kotum later no mu say na he framed. In Ijano. Ijano community na woman no. Oko apartment for no
Oko jail.
Yes.
Oko jail.
Yes.
Okay.
But later they realized say he was framed up. They all catch no no.
Yeah.
Enti omu jano no community na no mo Maryland ono. Oko apartment agents no mo the apartment ma. Omu so mo man dan han. And we free Maryland aba Virginia husband.
Yeah.
Enti oti honom na omo muti honi bi akọ report ama agency ni say they are harboring a rapist
Wow.
in the community. Enti so man tuna free community no mo man save. Let the Nikita no chance no 3 months to look for apartment. He can't continue to live there because of his past record, even though he had been exonerated. Mekako si say omukromo no US, UK, Canada ne sankrofo no rape ye major issue. And the moment as ansem ne na mo ho no, general, you see, it's an emotional something. It's against Ghana. Until one you careful about all your analysis with emotions. But you know, as a meme here, a mammy and son, I can report it. Some a year or money or mother. Ama a bisima so almost bonnet about 7 charges. Now, charges no quarter. Me call American embassy here and mama visit. Even though you need some way, process near ongoing. For them, we a potential criminal or you are not a criminal. But they will not risk because you could be a potential criminal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
Osusu say, who fill on forms now? Have you been charged with this? Have you been involved in criminal activity before? Then the forms in also. By the strict of the immigration laws, no. I just say favor be no more person otherwise on be denied. Even though you and final guilty, but who face trials.
Okay.
The fact say who face trials, no more fun say a bet to me a bassa way a criminal senior charges and it's
Okay.
and a bit to my about say be a criminal, but yen to mention until the infant say be a criminal, I am my crew.
None of them fans are on the criminal.
Or protecting the crew. And omoya sa niema we udi agro mo best sell out omo de obey example said the bear nkofo for nko into omo nyobi odi a sometimes and it three na be before omo de Mike Tyson but the list continues unabated enti I sad but for me to me nka say no nti na work up no nyede. Ghana have been so unfortunate in our preparation towards this World Cup. We lose Kudus, we lose Juku, Kudus, Salisu. Chikuni Salisu near central defensive pair. We've lost them. Partey is the mainstay guy in the midfield. We've lost him. In our attacking or the creative part, the zone 14, the key guy. Hey, Kudus, we've lost him. Partey de Biana, at least in the 2 games in the US came in. So for me, any quantity my concentration, it could be pre. Na Michidi say, Omunye Ejumano. Honestly, I'm not pleased with sports minister. The comments around this issue. The do sabreya with the diplomacy, any negotiating. Now, baby, I know to radio, so now we can win your right. How do you approach them? How do you approach them and then?
No, we couldn't talk about radio, so as a crowd.
But then, it was a sports minister. You are the main person. I will be liaising with the foreign affairs minister. No more negotiating, no more discussing. Now, we know just 2 days ago, and I quite interview saying, "You know, see a deny." I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. General, what you commenting now? He was saying it wasn't true. One, on your aware, say a deny no. Say no cry and kebe catch no. Because on your mukasa debia, the moment you say no cry and kebe catch me. because me no didn't come there as a chance anya no kore o ta to asumpo kan say problem omunya ye coach na yire no because coach na yire no ye Iran ni into America and man visa. I even thought that was too sensitive an issue. Journalists in requested far ube volunteer their man. Mpachot say so Kamadrian says our stage we no penina out that sports na no. Udi eno nya kasa.
Information be brio on the deeper bunting, but
a lot of them. And oh, as I say, the Jordan Andre Ayuko, Eko we are here, Yanfa Andre Anko. Also, your personally, when you become sports minister, please, a personal opinion, office in opinion, a very thin line. Because Sabio, now on your sports minister, no be I'm afraid maybe our question. Into a bizarre question at the Okano, it represents your position and your seat. Not your private opinion.
Information you as if it's a free F in the whole neighbor.
It's a free F in the whole neighbor. Skabibi say no, like the FA should be. Probably, I'm privy to FA for no being comobia and near maybe Panko mono and manage underground. We will not that one thing. And I think that Honorable Kofi Adam, me, I'm impressed with his work so far, but Ninkasa in interviews, no, and information be or demand too much for his office.
Okay.
How can a journalist ask about party and you end up and say be hard and yet me say no cry because the bio money make us baby I problem. Hey coach Iran or you know America for Iran America will be him how sensitive the issue is. So do you need to even volunteer that information out when it has not been solicited for? And I think that Honorable in interview I feel now who is going to negotiate for us to get it? Who now obey that negotiation behind and they obey issue diplomacy near the ISR man? Who now would not complain? Why now? So she calm down.
Okay. You have a sense and some so minimum so
yes, I do. I think I must say stricto sensu by the strictest sense of the law. Where Canada for immigration law now. There's a particular point I'm more used to the other way. But Sergio, every government reacts on public opinion and public uproar. Sergio, se bibi anko kasa papa ya. Nkasa anko mo we emba. And two, England for na nkasa yedi omo nkomo no. Omo ye ayebida. With Benjamin Mendy.
Of course.
Yeah.
He ended up destroying his career. Near Benjamin Mendy Lucy and Sajo Nensan Kadim. Yes, and Uncle the Manchester City na boni yeno. Sadly, he free. You know, we have to look at it again. It's quite clear. If it's ready, they could project it for us, especially the point C.
Oh, you request there. Say ultimate family man.
Oh yeah, okay.
Push
you know,
too bad and 12 next year pon. You be sure who na you dey share matches.
Disrupt here.
Yes.
Because he's a key figure.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
If you the back say.
Oh, bigly.
Yeah.
So you big time. The MFB be Anton Chain. Now you didn't come on. I say, Obi Peboni. But this is our weakest midfield in any major World Cup, and as even tournament. Ghana weakest midfielder Diakoni. Coach also has not covered himself in glory with Sir Lucas in the collab, no, because that's one you could have sacrificed for Obi to Boha. In Nibi, to say about first match now against Panama without Salisu, without Jiku, without Kudus, without Partey. You have a problem.
And then Ghana here and now man for so can say your midfield in Partey as in seminal psychologically any effect on the super party ball any wills. Come on. He was completely out of game now boy and Tikebeya Bidim Grano suggest Calibre na Partey started from the bench into how serious na be year say the more can say be affect you seriously no so that
World Cup. Ade Bakwa, you from 2006, and say Ade Bakwa the young Copa. Yes, our big game temperament players, no, and they be also a number 6.
Okay.
Ever since the World Cup, no, every single time, say Franco number 6 be, and the Ghana call in 2006 for Stephen Appiah, for Asamoah Gyan, Sergio, Michael Essien was so pivotal in the area. 2010, Kodjo Asamoah Gyan, Kevin Prince Boateng, but every technical report, and many days, it was Anthony Anana. He was the cog in 2014. You could see Sule Muntari especially. He was driving that team.
You see, what Partey brings to our team is
nobody
stability.
Nobody does that. Sergio, what's up,
Can we
Calibian?
say same of Partey now?
Calibian doesn't have the big game temperament. And this is his first World Cup.
And one game in midfield against Wales.
Oh, come on.
Come
on. You need to be Obekasa.
So comment Munti Bebre,
Oh, yeah, Titi Bebre.
including journalists, sports
Yeah,
journalists.
but Sergio, he's your best bet.
Yeah.
Partey, he's your best bet.
starting level no more than Caleb.
Yes.
But you know, Thomas Partey no mu gina mu a Sibu ko gina. Remember,
He's your best
ko wani
bet.
born oba sa kasa no sa coach in the midfield.
He's your
Caleb
best bet.
nchi won't me
He's your
feel.
best bet. He's your best bet.
Nti so no free bench about the energy about it's good. Partey will bring it stability because you game the number of games are your concentration will be defensive solidity. Maybe I are best into attack. And when a befa ball or midfield deep, you are too long ball. And yet until we missing. And I still.
Okay, say ITV for not setting up on New York. Now Roy King. Near Carlos Queiroz. And I say the Usroma Ghana and they say Ghana could easily become a defensive team. Because Carlos Queiroz and Juma Dodona about defensive stability, and the organization of Thomas Partey is something that will be crucial for Ghana in how they maintain their shape. So it's painful.
Okay. Yeah, say Ubia Odi ne so the third birthday and then no 33 years.
It's very, very painful.
Odi the birthday no na nsemsi atono. Hygiene.
The Sanko they are a Timakuma pan say, so be deep him, so be different. Or background this has 72 young who live that.
So dear.
Omumrano. So by now, see a reaping on. See a car sending in every cranny in Chato Sono, Chato Swa, ni dear Nana picture crano, and you can say Barbontin. Sabri on Namo pa another
Victim.
Was I the Jumed Tino?
Biso bompa ese party be deep na samba na omo kana omo nyina pictures no release ya mai na ye de so ni mo
so say
no ne am the whole world the whole man no this as em
Daniel Avis de na ese no hu krofo bi nko mo to oba ba ko picture tum enu kwa nkasa akofa asem foforo de abre o dike bi anka party BYT bi na party nim na nko ato ne picture na ma BYT na we try to mo Ghana ha
Nafina enunkwa na kwa na echo. All right. Obi busa sent immigration laws ben kwa na Canada there. Almost my party mana a whole almighty US there. Party to me remboko. Immigration laws ben kwa.
I ready to enter kaka.
Kakre bi na into aso.
So Tony, if the graphic is ready, Mr. Mufan to some and Sergio, it doesn't even talk about conviction. It talks about committing the offense. It's
my number Sammy. So come to me pejam kakra man.
Yes, Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, no, Section 36 2C. Now 2C now some I can see when say committing an act outside Canada that is an offense in the place. Committing an act outside Canada that is an offense in the place where it was committed, and that if committed in Canada would constitute an indictable offense under an act of parliament. It's a conviction as a move. So so the presumption here is that it's been committed. So what happened to innocent until proven guilty? What happened? The court of public opinion, wokeism, so woke life.
Okay.
In your body, yes, and a cancel culture.
Wow. Canada and UK share the same monarch.
Yeah.
King Charles III is separately the King of Canada and the King of the United Kingdom. So the politics behind this is more than football. Everything is to destabilize Ghana. Name of Makala baby also that way, and so
it's an interesting one. Interestingly, England honum man visa ma on Villarreal Champions League. England honum no omo bi mama no anytime with me back because na Japade o hoso na e be try no. Because all man visa ma ne ma ho a any all ma try no. Nti ho de omo bi mama no. So but a baby dey na o kan no.
Well.
The relationship between Canada
the influence on between Canada so society. I salute you bigly. All these Thomas Partey issue are stemming from the England scheming of not wanting to greet him. It's a way to destabilize the team by having a low morale before even meeting the English. We need a psychologist to gear us up. Go Blackstars. Onyx no AJ Unilever International. They also the Abreye and no. Kwakwaje uhuye ene anopay. All right. Yanko games no so kakra. Ticketing issues ni na enso ye de hunsem ebeba. Ura Kofi Adams edin sema tubia. Luckily yenya Fred Champon. Yene no kasa no na or to plane ni betu. Ti entimi no anye yam friend was Zoom no so. Luckily ordinance abre say yemfan tubia in response to the Ura Kofi Adams the eba you know. Politics wura mu kakra later ni na de hunsem eba. MPP for omo kase NDC tickets no na mpelifon bezo omo de NDC nko for me omo nko for me NDC for nko anti na tickets no omo peso obi abenya no omo de ma NDC for no na omo Kofi Adams be kan say ba hu ni pe tickets na se no ye ma the whole world the hu say enya no credit nko for kan no say NDC nko for your supporters nko na de ma omo na de ama Mr. Fred Achia obi anim so MPP Int'l munim say dwirim die bia ntimi mbam say be say de ma obi a obetima aboa ma dwirim die abam ne de ama your supporters a enye achi de ngede ma no Fred Achia obi anim be free we NPP the work of Adams nis mo de two biara no nti achi so the reply about later the hunsem ebe bremo Kofi SMP any bro ye ko World Cup politics be brain so ba be wurem anu nyina na free hifa. Okay, Bishop, my mention my assessment so far.
Canada,
yes,
are still yet to win,
Canada
yet to win a game at the World Cup. And it's incredible. And now here a Juma Jesse match or buy and say wabeye and Canada for outdoor our Mudishia games no. Clearly, you could clearly see say they were up for it. And Canada have built a squad that represent the greater level of multiculturalism and multiracialism at Canada. See, as I can say, Nipa mufu baby, Omudada sitting mu ne no. Esisa. Into her team nanka say boy na Tajon Buchanan. Was our team na wahwe Nipa obete kano Larin. Na Nipa Larin be in film Oluwa say striker I started match na mo Jonathan David. Na okwa strikers over you start Kyomu on the boy. So clearly what is Canada are seeking to improve on what they did in the last World Cup and conform to a side that is also playing their third World Cup since they became Bosnia and Herzegovina. Also almost so a team Obeka say they are in transition 2014 so a team nidia Omwa na Omwa Misimovic Edin Dzeko Omo nyina ni hobiem Omo nyi and then nipa kakre bi na aka omwa ya build the team around them. They respectably took the lead. That former Arsenal left back ono ball bi to ball crossbar Kolasinac. That was the moment and Canada so automatically but Canada played some very good eye-pleasing football. Now near say Canada said they were lucky to get an American because just match. So you don't insist sequence the next sequence or sign contract or Leicester as a coach. And Canada friend now Okoye, and he's built a very good side for them. Canada will look forward to securing qualification at the barest minimum. Sergio, there was this thing, and it's always held. Say, what cup now here, Bono? Host nation there. When you're the a year progression to the next round of the competition. And last time a co-host of this magnitude was 2002. For the first time, Japan and South Korea hosted World Cup. South Korea managed to get to the semi-final. Japan with the white witch doctor Philip Trusi qualify to the next round of the competition. Okay. So clearly, it's a good start for Canada. Ombinya nanka a win, but senior game this is going. You can't share from a set piece and and Canada would have to build on that result. Likewise, we tournament. I mean, GD said we have 4 points.
Okay. Yeah. Even 3 points can.
I'm optimistic. Say Canada would build on this. Likewise, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I didn't know a sea of red. And Czechia and a Czech Republic match or any South Korea boy. Na FIFA air can sem kakrase. In Central for the air and you say Nipa Omba Stadium or no number no from people and say no. American sports culture near different. You ever born albums will be a sorry kotosa. It is all far from the trap picture and so say Nipa and Tetewa or Munjin Tumsen on the fair reflection of attendance. Nemum ticket Dodo Sen your toy. Dodo Sen near the bar gate at the best swipe say ye rem and amount the real attendance figures. And clearly a host nation and neighbor until they set the tone for another host nation to also come in and then deliver the goods. For all the good talk about Mauricio Pochettino and the United States or most soccer team, one thing that has stood out and they say, Omedina Tempa. Say, United States has started some more building up to this World Cup. No, Ebra Americans who said the team could do something significant. It was 2023 October or Nashville, Tennessee. Almost share Ghana form. Almost share Ghana, and then the Americans decided, look, if we build a good soccer team in 3 years at the World Cup, things could be better. Until boys now, born this is Dodona Sejo have moved across the Atlantic to play in mainstream leagues. In USA 94, Nipa near Bon Dinka Cassiano, Alexi Lalas, Obo Ofie. Dodona near Bo Mudinya Cassiano, no Bo Ofie. But you compare it to this current one, there's a significant story behind the 2 goals. Fularin Balogun, Eshen, Balogun no Arsenal, and all the call Monaco. So, and then you can immigration as some amount from pay immigrants as some or US, and I say the own Brunifita, say, on another some no cressy. So, Fularin, my men in the Papani, Yoruba for. Wono, US, New York. Quite many of us own. Never pan any man in Papa in our British passport. Almost landed. And almost say, Omo Babesra, Omo Adamfu. Omo know what you post on the hearing into my main fan in Kononko or US, none the banner American passport. Because Omo British passport. But Omo Koyan and Omo Wakran. And he became eligible to play for them for Nigeria and then for the UK. And I say England. And then Waba Ababeshe 2 goals. He's been building to this moment. We had team Nankasa, or more must be attack. No, back out there because I papa a born national team. No, and no, the Ababidua, name wait team we are anyway, dear. What you say, immigrants. And no, and they are born. And then in Finfi, you know, who would have thought? Tyler Adams, another key cog in the Premier League team. While Bob Bournemouth to their best ever placing in the Premier League, he's there. Weston McKennie, Adebo, Akopiem, Juventus. So clearly, you could clearly see this is a team that has ingredients. Aronson, Ebo, Emma Leeds. So that they are Pulisic. They have a lot of players playing well in Europe this time around. I'm not sure they will be a quarter-finalist or semi-finalist, but Team USA needed this result so much to calm down Mauricio Pochettino, because at the last Gold Cup, not 10 years Dosu. Not 10 years a Dosu pa na onyadie. And then there's a faction that nearly wrapped this immigration thing on him using Yunus Musa. Because police catch Musa say when you issue with a girlfriend or Beoba, something like that. Into the on country Musa ombo no nya kwa engine na home. Because wasan so break. And I was saying on for Yunus Musa about World Cup. One for number. This happened just last year, but almost this happening out for Mechi. Omachi Paraguay actually almost 4-1. It's a significant opening day result that will push everybody in the United States.
The first time almost 4 goals.
Incredible result, and a statement win.
Yeah,
Paraguay is not a pushover
for their lives. Even one player watch 2 goals in a single World Cup game, apart from the opening World Cup in 1930.
Can you imagine?
The interesting thing is Bet Paternaldi now share hat-trick against Paraguay, no? The same Paraguay, and another American, Abeshe 2 goals against. US players who are failed say about World Cup. Now one player be more than 1 goal. Nancy, the first time was in 1930, the maiden edition of the World Cup.
Hey, Munjo open it, Nsuka Crow. Are you saying, sir, US we be almost stronger side?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
But that's the fact that everybody be one depending to control. 1939, you move Antias. Yabo is against Paraguay. So many years later, almost 90.
Yes.
96.
Yes.
Here we are.
Against Paraguay,
again.
An American player scores more than one in a game.
It's incredible.
Until Paraguay is turning out to be their favorite opponent. Interesting. I'm so born in 1930.
Omisha World Cup.
Omisha World Cup.
Yeah, as it was.
That is the first player of FIFA hat-trick, World Cup hat-trick. That was that game.
In the entire tournament.
The whole FIFA they World Cup on the Bayern. Games the first ever hat-trick.
Was that game?
Yes, our game.
It's incredible. So their favorite opponent.
The America because Trump, Donald Trump on him, Mauricio Pochettino on the players.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Mr. President Donald Trump and Mauricio Pochettino. Yes, you enjoy Kakra.
Mr. President, Andrew Giuliani, how are you?
Hi, Andrew. Hi, how you doing?
Well, I'm standing in front of 26 champions and a great coach, Coach Pochettino, right now, that are ready to go and run through a wall. So I'm going to give you to Coach Pochettino and the captain.
Good. Hi, Coach.
Hi, Mr. President. How are you?
Well, I just called to say you're a fantastic guy, a fantastic coach. I know all about your record and your success, and I know how great the players are. I think you've got a really good chance of going all the way.
Thank you so
I
much.
just want to wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you so much for your support, Mr. President, and we are going to do everything to make proud you and all the people here in this country.
Mr. President, Andrew Giuliani, how are you?
Okay. And also, I don't know, 4-1 against Paraguay. Yeah, matches are anymore. Bishop say, or who said, or moment my car could do better quarterfinals. Okay,
I don't see them as a side that will go very, very far in the tournament. They'll be only share quality be a bronze.
Okay, but around was 32, don't book.
Okay. 4-1.
Okay.
Qualified.
6 in the bedding.
Mr. President say they are going all the way.
Okay.
This is incredible.
Right.
But on my never sorry. On my never sorry behind.
Before they won the games, meetings also.
Yeah, General, it's a match day 3. And at least we've seen all the 3 co-hosts in action.
Yeah.
Mexico, South Africa, discipline 2-0. And South Africa, they actually to a copy baby Atta. And you're sure this is a Boka say host the tournament. Now, first game, 2-0. Upper baby Atta, a Niger and a Debro. And they did not only outscore them, they outplayed them. Canada, action fanable, but many attire say Bosnia is one of the strong teams in that group. They have Nena Katane. Switzerland and Sobebo. For me, the strongest team in that group is Switzerland, probably. And to get a draw here, it means that they should win against at least Qatar and progress. Because host nation, the World Cup on Pimpino, Jana or Mutime try and go beyond the group stage. The US game was another game, and I think, say, Paraguay, Paraguay is one country, as you see, almost share the need. Outstanding players be brave. Europe ni saa nneɛma no. Nti na kamea kɔ say 2 teams no hwɛ mu pa ɔmo mabɔ elite football abo aduru akyire ne titiriw European competition no ɛwɔ na bebree no wɔ US for no ɛhɔnom. You can West Makani, you can Pulisic, you can Timothy Weah, name them, and even this Balogun I will share 2 goals, you know. So they had personalities, they had team, and they had the fans behind them. Not BBR went for them, and I think 4-1 there is an emphatic victory and a very good start for the Americans. Obebo Mabaso in that direction. The next game there, the biggest game is the Brazil game versus Morocco.
Morocco, yeah.
Yeah, General. One game I wouldn't want to miss
for anything.
10 p.m. sharp. And a kick-off time. MetLife.
Qatar, Switzerland, yes, 7 p.m.
Yes. MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. General. 82,500 capacity stadium. Massive stadium. It is said the Wakamba by Arani Accra Sports Stadium. Emi no boom. I had cry 40 into Nukrano and Sendru. And it is expected say stadium be fill. The Brazilians are there in their numbers. Morocco so and you are talking about the most successful country in association football when it comes to the World Cup, Brazil, against the most successful African country in the World Cup in terms of Nyawakon and Nimpa. And this Moroccan side, some times back, and Brazil and Morocco, the Nkebe fan is a Sebi Goliath ne David Dienebia. But then ubetimi do mumi enu atunseni enu akase it's not a walkover for any of them. Watch Brazil and Kasa after the 2022 World Cup, the Romunya stability in their technical direction. I think Carlo Ancelotti has been the fourth manager since that tournament. But Don Carlo had a lot of stability about Brazil. Brazil your maya and Kedin so be free or mine no akwa bontia ko fa coach free say Italy so me coach yomo. But eja enyina bo eja hia to no oye ho hwenye yomu kaka omania. And I think as we speak now, Brazilians have not regretted appointing Carlo Ancelotti because he's brought some stability. You know, at this tournament, I think Brazil some of the favorites, you know, because they have very solid team. Almost a lot of experience, and look at their goalkeeper Alisson. Alisson is one of the safest pair of hands in the system now. If you have Alexandro on the left, now Danilo on the right, Marquinhos, Gabriel, super form. These two players played in the Champions League final. They've played in the Brazilian national team. It's about the best defender in probably defensive pair in Europe. The Marquinhos, Yedima, PSG on their way to the Champions League. The Gabriel, Yedima, Arsenal, playing in the final of the Champions League and winning the Premier League. Solid. Casemiro ended the season on the high. Very, very top. In Tisao, Casemiro ne Bruno Gomes as your two pivots in front of this back liner. It means that there's so much solidity over there. Then, obviously, Rafinha on the right, Vinicius on the left. Maybe Matthias Cunha will lead the line, Napaketa Abo behind him. General, in terms of name, big names line up and a Brazil ever presented. But I think for Morocco, they're not too sure about the change in their technical direction. You who the Walid Wagragi with the Moroccan national team, especially what they did in Qatar 2022, topping a group involving Belgium and Croatia. Yeah, they kind of simple. So Morocco, do semi-final. General, they saw a lot of big European powerhouse. So only Belgium, Croatia, and one group. Now topic group, no. On your way, Ushe Spain, Unifim, Paki Portugal, see baby. Now do final. As it turns out, the Moroccans are very solid team. And during the African Cup of Nations, how much there? Yes, they've lost some few players. Some few players form above form. And so as a team, they were still solid until they played Senegal in the final. Officially, they're going into this tournament as the champions of Africa because they have the trophy according to a case pending. So it's not going to be a walkover for Brazil. I believe strongly, say Morocco for no, but if you ask me, I think it's a World Cup. It's happening in America, and the South Americans are favorite over the Africans. I go 2-1 victory in favor of Brazil over Morocco, General.
Atta Urza, Brazil, Morocco. 10 p.m. a must-watch game. As if for Morocco to beat Brazil, they must stay compact in a disciplined 4-1-4-1 shape and deny space between the lines. Quick transitions are essential. Win midfield duels. Force Brazil wide and team dangerous dribblers. Fullbacks should support counters without over-committing. Set pieces can be a major weapon. Patience, defensive concentration, and clinical finishing on limited chances could deliver a famous Moroccan victory. Skanza, Bimbila, coach, teacher coach, Bishop.
So Joe, untimi nka Mohamed Wabi who asem bebre with the national team because of baby Awofia Wabi drew, but said you're here with under 20 team no. Or Chile if it's anything to go by then
winning the World Cup.
Exactly. Near Morocco here and then omo. So Joe, the Morocco here pa in this game mentality. Kwanya Brazil for South African countries ni nyina no. Do na I wa dream.
No correct.
Ometima mo bobo na 2006. Oh, yeah, Brazil for the power. But the ball no call omo won 50 counter. Omo show 3-0. They are an efficient team. Brazil, the entire omo the most decorated team in the history of the World Cup is that they are efficient.
Okay.
And omo say match na they are doing a group no pay.
Of course.
Until they would have to manage the game. And unfortunately, Morocco and Brazil in a ball game way as their first game of the competition. Yeah. What is Carlo Ancelotti's fault? The Christmas tree. 4-2-3-1. It is a symbol of his coaching philosophy. So if you convention no buy it, and so obey in the Juma into what and then open the flanks. Yeah. Because say if the flank is well opened in 10-1 ye bieja as Morocco for so not only are you a threat, you are also stopping a threat.
Okay.
And when you see you fight fire with fire.
But the Juma be especially Morocco, me find say fullbacks no. Mazarawi and then Ashraf Hakimi find fullbacks. But especially Ashraf Hakimi, the strength here anymore kono.
Mazarawi same.
Or Mazarawi is strength here anymore kono. Omo were Juma against Rafinha and Vini Jr.
Good. Now Juma
and Wanim never told a chia obey den.
San nipa ni mienu no. Sad 1v1 duels na wo benkum eni nifa no. Coaches ni mienu nyina me ni o madwin me ni o net dressing room. But me come back to so they will tell Vini and Rafinha stop them from coming.
That's the issue. By doing what?
Always be on them. Sana coach no so be catch mo say Vini beba. Oba come in field invert. Obedi we chiaba. So there will be a passing lane.
A game where say coaches in Bobby Pa.
And I make say minim Wabi ye our national team number Sergio. It is a game that is fit for that stadium. Because Brazil for no and a number of Brazilians in the US. And the Moroccans can say I'm for visa. Or more can be Sergio. North Americans, North Africans, obi anywhere presence our US and Europe and they are going to put up a spectacle. Nyoma decide the game when they say Joe, hey, how quick you are with the pass. The baby, you know, say ball neba, next crowd. How quick does it go?
Okay.
I saw man contempt, and I believe that it's a game that you see goals in.
Yeah.
But it will be limited.
All right.
Me call over 2.5 in that game.
Both
teams to score.
Both teams to score.
Yeah.
Over 2.5. That's about 3 goals.
Yeah, 2-1 sort of game.
Wow.
Brazil win.
And then move. For the sake of the Hey, for the sake of investors, kindly let BYT give us Moroccan's first game at World Cup and Brazil's performance against Africans. San Francisco Grace Light Educational Complex. I hear my be news site. I'm saying based on facts here, money. No, they both call the bet, you know. Wow. You marry the games, no so now. 5 games, so Minyesho is a bit my but as early as 1 a.m. Haiti in Scotland. Sanso and 4 a.m. Australia and so any Turkey and they bet tie so the day. Now 5 p.m. Canada bebem on Curacao and 8 p.m. What's it?
Germany
ni Curacao. Curacao ni Germany 5 p.m. and the Netherlands ni Japan 8 p.m. Yeah. And I Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuador and so 11 p.m. 5 matches.
Quick one. Qatar and Switzerland match. No? Qatar are winless in the World Cup. Okay. This is the first time I qualify on sporting merit at the World Cup. No? Now, I'm say coach Bakoa or coach Qatar Lopetegui. Say in 2018, not the Spain ever. Now Spain ever, not Spain or Russia. 2 days to the tournament now. Real Madrid announced say oye the coach any pamon the free national team num e the Fernando Hierro by Sergio oni Murati akin nebo Qatar would lose that game, Switzerland would win, there will be more goals, and then there will be a goal for Dan Ndoye market anytime scorer Dan Ndoye for AS Switzerland. Sergio nyamenu no kwari ni Ivory Coast any Ecuador match no will be a cracking game,
Of course.
omumi no obi anko nechi na mojamono no doso strangely
Yankonkwa.
Sergio ombe biesi super baby a wo bia no ukọ a fako say score draw sa game no because they don't go back. Bazumana Toure wa ha Yan Diomande wa ha, and then they have a central striker a obeye adwuma sa so like I said omo nko mochi omo sisu so omo ba just like ombeye in the last World Cup no sa na omo beba beye enso e wa ha. Germany has the penchant for scoring and scoring more. So Munza Wasan. Germany your maya. So Munya so Mun Shewa. Omutimi Shew Bibri. Europe World Cup qualifiers ni European Cup qualifiers no. Match goes be mudu no. Omu kan ubi. Omu che San Marino for no nane omu ankasa. World Cup no in 2002. Omunya ubi sa sheni Bibri. This omu say I think it was Saudi Arabia. And Miroslav Klose started the building for goals no. So munya ona so unya dia on meshawa show bebre, and what a moment me atamenya nanka ye draw no Curaçao ball against Netherlands because Curaçao Suriname omunyina na Netherlands for no and then but then against Germany they will give them the bath, they will give them a proper welcome into the World Cup, and on meshawa there will be goals in there. Germany for no, so be per goal killer. This will be an opportunity for that person to get a lot of the goals. Samson at Scotland, remember Haiti, but not because Omoya there, but because Haiti would need time to understand why FIFA politics no any moody. Send a Ghana, you can say a player every assembly. You catch almost among us no. Now there is a independence design a womb. Yempe FIFA say pay any political coloration be a womb. Japan. So Scotland wins that game. Japan apenyansa kwan bi so AD European class now. European countries na in the last 3 World Cups. 2018 Belgium na stop yomo. But last year last World Cup omo Spain film. Japan. Sabo bia ye boy ya. Omo say epie MP so make us game now. The ball went out of play via an check in who say the ball did not go out. Japan were involved in that game and they have consistency. The only problem with Japan, and they said they've lost their captain Wataru Endo. But then when Korea one of the things with these Asian countries, and they say they understand how to come through the middle. First nanke say omboni yembrika omu yententia omu kwa no crossing no likanyi in the pass now omu de take na sajo oche omu defense ni mu mienu play the pass through the middle. And in champion control ball on PA, and then he buried it. Japan has what it takes to worry the Netherlands. Netherlands problem say they don't have a striker.
I wonder why
they don't produce
for so many years.
After Klaasie and Huntelaar, Brian Brobe, and the Memphis Depay, and a Holland do a mobile tournament. Until no matter the job you do at the back, so you need goals to win. They don't have. Okay. But Japan are organized, and even without the usual names, I still believe they have what it takes to account for the Netherlands today.
But Somerville, Malin, Cody Gakpo
have had a good and Gakpo not so good season. But Somerville, Malin especially or Roma has been good. Do you translate that to the national team?
It's another thing. Because Memphis no munya no game no. It's another problem. Memphis for whatever it is
their best bet.
National team is their best bet.
All right. About the back Hosima and so Kesben television we a final whistle meaning the BI the Bremo. You also have a back to Thomas Partey issues no. Na Canada Immigration Minister Lina Diap edin sem kakra to da. But your young kuti kakra and I yen tie do kan no. Na later they can no de atoa so. Lina Diap say Canada has been consistent with immigration rules, irrespective of hosting major tournaments. Canada has been consistent that hosting major tournaments or events doesn't change Canada's immigration laws. Every person seeking to come to Canada is assessed individually based on the facts available and the law that applies. Canada Immigration Minister Lina Diap na de asem we atu dwafa Thomas Partey insensem no ho. Moma yanko US Customs and Border Protection nsema omo so de ababonten afa issues here ho. Omo say the US Customs and Border Protection explained their reasoning behind issuing Thomas Partey a visa despite Canada's refusal. The US is aware of the pending court issue or case for Mr. Partey. However, at this time, he has not been convicted of a crime and was admitted to the United States after being issued a visa. Sana omode atu edwa. Na minim de obaka sa me countries me immigration laws near there. And sana enya ntiesi here is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also atro to Global Affairs or Canada, asking for a review of their decision to refuse Thomas Partey a visa. In the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Ghana, the ECO, the Canada, Global Affairs or Canada. Since summer, SEC, so almost Thomas Partey visa manning Canada no, almost in review sa decision. Zinete say omuhwe biom na omode sa visa no ema no ba minister no say no way eyemra enti na eno no Canada and US emra krona obi ade ebobra
asem krona we happen you know visa
yemra issues so proper. Yes.
A difficult situation, and I think that honestly, do baby say and yet straightforward something. Osha minor, one here the interest will be part of it, and in your personal way, because America and Canada, me sure some immigration laws difference in shade Musa, especially regarding issues of this nature, and as I globally accepted say the charge and akwa dubu bia interest we default asem no titi pa ne say yenya ni nasem na yema ne kwanti na no asem, because you speak from the word go pertaining the lawyers deny all the charges against them. On what grounds now we begin at their side. So it's extremely very difficult. But what I was saying earlier on is so mine decide they say, oh my wa, we are there obenya bibi. No more so there. But this abria, I think it's diplomacy. Like paying for to me.
Yeah.
Any paying for no. Nanko mo dinkita ho edrechiri.
To ministry don't want him. Foreign Affairs.
Foreign Affairs don't release about.
Don't release about the
Baby, and sometimes I ask myself, Senka, I'll interview no deny na. That is the pointer. And Kakwe Bisono. Or Mubesha say dim common was here a be a reapplication or something. But a media house brokered the news, said Partey has been refused. Some 24 hours later, the sports minister denied it. Said a medan in him say no cra and cool. So I ask myself, say, how do they even manage information from the FA, the Sports Ministry, and Foreign Affairs? Go clearly. A branca, when you buy an ano, say FA no, a folly on either the Sports Ministry or through straight to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and then they discuss it as to how they can get Canada to issue him the visa. You know, baby, Drew Nissen, yes, I be deja, ubi a flexi, my dream say, probably we may have to concentrate and then hope say you're back to US or be a part of the team, because you spend the energy on the Panama game and Partey visa. And take care. By now, whoever coach ni feel say on a be replacing Partey. The game is 4 days away. We are talking about visa and then trying to get him to probably go for an interview again or whatever. Now you be issue, you be travel, or be could join it him. No, how many days would it take?
I said Partey a very strong person. And son to me,
I'm the best.
Yes, I'm a Ghana.
He has to be strong.
already in some nankasa by any effect on super.
Of course.
Na Canada didn't know what
General Nipa, what he said, near maybe we be wheeled down.
Yeah. What is that?
No matter what.
We
Said,
are
Nipa. You know, I say Nipa be 5 krano. Echo did what them or infants social media baby cry. Sometimes you feel it. Now, in the midst of a stadium, infants say Nipa domubu tutu. And he has experienced some. And we are by Utianya games of Bebo Krano, Umbebabe.
Oh, definitely.
Especially the game against England.
Yeah.
The, in Wales, Cardiff, they hooted at him. He didn't perform. Obia entimi associate say a huro no psychological in yes a game near Kobo on one team ma Obia sign the Emma Kwada Caleb Emono. But probably he's a human being, it's taking a toll on him.
All right, it be kept in mind on a bisu and form hokra. You never be our more can be a day and Magana and then some party in the Blackstars. Trodini and in St. Pierre to your Sanso and Jamicaraga. And so Akasapi a day a fast answer me home. Before my bomb on 7 quickly, my main call South Africa, almost sports minister, I've read Gaten Mackenzie. To say on TZ Odogubi and Nuabe. Gaten Mackenzie on Robert Marawa and the Dizzy Uncle Way. Or say, Coach, Infantino has been the best person for African football. His relationship with Trump isn't our business. He's been very kind to Africa. I don't care about his relationship with Trump. This World Cup is not what people think. I respect American rules. Did everyone in South Africa get their visas? Yes. So what's my problem? What's the problem? People, for example, in Ghana, say Bafana must lose. People, for example, in Ghana say Bafana must lose. And you think if they stop a Guinean player, I will care? Maybe you, Marawa, have a kind heart, but not me. But not me. If South Africa is sorted out, our players are sorted, my team is sorted with visas, that's it. Gaten Mackenzie, Mungamu, South Africa, against all countries, and the easy crowd. You stop a Ghanaian referee and a player, be on also for home. If there's a monomutia South Africa, Ghana, Nina, South Africa, lose.
I think one of the things that has characterized San Komoi, now saying, and trouble so I'm for the Afra. And you know, let's be a wild born team be saying engaging with this. Said GTV fell foul of Rowan Williams in Indian.
Yeah.
Said any say in before Nanka Debia now man for Thai and they are South Africa. You see the traction it has gained, especially Nigeria and the Ghana media space, no, a dozen into your best say in engaging with some of these supposed reports. Let's be very circumspect because me at me who GTV there no me due to say Rowan Williams I can't say say before you know before and can maybe a trip now South Africa boba before you know time much that's when but my dream was say of course I mean misinformation so you know but you say say when we are engaging with some of the commentary say I had to say South Africa for Kenya I say ya pamata national mama na pepe me ko hu Rowan Williams ne de no na am ka say abroso muzimu nya hu hwe na mu be bibi adana mu trimo edin sa mu dia man for bonisa but e try am ko hu say sa on ka sa no and I'm say still on ka sa kra ye de share mu no de the circumspection would do but the reality is that politics and football say they be aye ka ofia no say no moti say ya no moti omo dam pa ba ko so ntino den obi be kwa bi so a kire where the power lies nti says I know me so and then we are seeing this kind of repost but this is the reality until say we've been tested by the politics of the day untimi nka se wadamfuni until say drew kwano no untimi nka bi
na edu ba bi
o see minister no kasa But South African minister, Mackenzie, what do you know? Ghana for you not time. Say Bafana. Inti deny Ghana ni visa say mani go be me do I care?
General Assembly, I don't know.
Also minister, sports minister.
Yeah, I may come without ruling out the possibility say being part
one of those concocted.
Bit my background.
It could easily be.
In Kofone Krashana.
Oh, there is we don't know the kind.
You see, the problem. Sada painful bit.
Robert Marawa na interview no.
Yeah, painful be say omuka say BBC ya. Emma one of dear to trust them streets, you know, it feeling like they are justified. Nebema hatred for South Africa no akosromo.
Exactly.
Hatred for South Africa no akosromo. Look, a man might be bring penny for and Ghana man penny in Crawford. Nigeria man penny in Crawford. Payo mubo and say Ghana mranti anima ba any tree any trada. Entingu mountain say omudo mun say keka South African nationals and now mo japa de wo mem. Abai bia we bi mem bia no abai na so dey sonko. Into people in positions such as this should be careful of some of these comments. Sabi mo fa ko do ebo bi o tie dumai na oko social media ko trust na ni agi ko yewe a na who sports minister obe responding. Has he seen any big Ghanaian official saying say Nenyaji say Yasha South Africa because of this? Which people is he responding to? Social media guys, somebody who is a sports minister. And sometimes some of these things, the least you can say is an irresponsible statement.
Oh, well.
They're very responsible. Because Obama Crawford now Nam Street to sue. You know, actually say they are justified because Crawford promised them in the other no Crawford that's who Kruma. So they should go ahead and do it. Meanwhile, Oman Penny Pequan or Befaswa or Bejujon Crawford come and answer Maniamana Koso.
Okay. Our authorities didn't help Partey at all. Maxwell and Suta KJB didn't know Casa Semino. Partey, I don't know, Bidum Craig as a Guineas again, Nico World Cup no cra. And since Semina, one who as a door subi bray, a beha boy Nankasa, and a bear distraction, so I'm a team. Money or more against
Young penny for being chrome her. They are facing charges of all magnitude. So you muda there, you may do mudini, you can say more mundi.
Moody.
Say a corny a cottage, say, Yam yin film, that amount for being in chair. So you not ye couldn't soon. You must show support. Exactly, you must show support.
Okay.
I'll say, baby, Kakrabi, Nelson Kakrabi, and who no process and say, how did they manage the information?
That is my
They refuse, you know. Sabreno Nanka, who pull strings. What fresh sports minister? What fresh Ministry of Foreign Affairs? A do level here diplomacy. Inti money omu eni nkomo ewo kukuam because let we are ministry dia be yichireze omu ngade involved escalate we omu tv no eno ma be trust alert no what ma say emfa ne Ghana minister for foreign affairs any minister for youth and sports any omu diplomatic any Ghanaian bikra na ambassador to Canada enyina get involved eno ma kan kukuam aye bia na anyi ya eno de. But let the witch say, the Susa Afenia catch on Munyamaye. It was our level general, and you see, visa do baby a tree. So, can you be a or yes, our feminists or more? You're fighting for my right for only be. Inti, look, Mason Greenwood, no man you for your number 4. A man is your moon to meaning and share the same pitch. Women's group,
the proper council culture.
Over 2 minutes share the same pitch. Pitch now more training was no. Mason Greenwood be boss will be omunye safe. Zana ma you for then. Edija no kwan. Enti so konya nipa na oye o visa no ye sa for extremists ni bia. We had dem be kwa kopem re bi dey UFU. But se kobasa na mo timi din komo we chire hwe ho asem ka. And it me resolve it. But I sad say whole tournament somebody prepares for it. It is like a tournament here born in Canada for all the qualification, all the preparation, everything Partey has got involved. Because somebody says so I are there on your internet.
Okay.
Only had the chance to play.
That was unfair.
Yeah, bet was so the Mamo. Ghana is in the same group of England and you're still supporting them. Where will your heart be when we meet?
God
be honest. Okay. This is the only way Canada can make a name in world football by denying visa to a top footballer. Greetings to Ojam. Ojam Shusha Mikakra. Why? Who is Ojam? Salau Maxima.
Salau.
Ojam. Oh, okay.
Salau, my kind of time and again.
Huh?
Born and bred in Ghana.
But
Ghana need 100%.
but
I support England when it comes to CTA. We'll be supporting Brazil. We'll be supporting France. We'll be supporting Argentina. But say any pakro me GDP say Ghana any sa any my neighbor or be supporting Ghana. What you say? You want Ghana or no Salah World Cup boy. Me a short pass apart from Ghana or my supporting.
Yeah.
In the same will be here Argentina and any my we pay Spain. But Ghana be boy in unison. You mean you know be route.
The people be cram Ghana support Ghana.
Bebre asemahi. But me kind the day a Blackstars able boy me support him. Me per se Blackstars be winning. Never okay to.
about the time no so Obama na ba ma hoy.
They be friend first.
I say. Chichime, we can some trasa.
Me chichime say.
You know from first.
Me say they be free akra first be abebo.
Oh, okay.
Onya call up na.
Okay. Sir, the union kinti say tintina omo Ghana and
You
England.
know akra no be a do 18.
Oh, but say
So,
parents
we
be
decide.
parents be your influence on muscle.
Of course, and I'm sure I'll have it.
So where would the influence be?
Yes.
And I make her say, say national team no play and for the person me kobo with you. Or mine ne friend no.
That's here.
But there's nothing like me money mama Ghana.
Yeah,
And I'm money mama.
That's here.
That one is nowhere.
And we trying to tell me the be Thomas do am run so.
Do be friend no be ko. Say nyame na dom no timi drew ha.
Be true.
Do be friend no be ko.
Be true. I mean to be true.
Upe England.
One I told me
say eja o
We should di
baby eja o
on can say why?
Can't you offer said do here.
Where do?
We should di
Yeah, dada o.
Upe baby hot there. E dey na this guy you yes.
eja
Dey na this guy.
Me na obi some
Yes.
Unni momo
Dey na unni o yes.
Unni momo ese obi some question.
Dey na unni o yes ya dino we kakra so no o san person odidi won.
Mr. Jamvi.
I was making mind clear.
Yeah, so obvious.
And I don't
Oh, Claire, them
Clear.
God save the king. God save the king.
Friday no my you be England just in school.
They be naka. On them.
Those guys are interesting. Omo dey a ye JC. National team JC. And they are best school.
Oh, okay.
Aye.
To almost start to cry 10.
Come on, Shasha.
And the England is so
They be over.
Consciously.
Yes.
Yeah, we call World Cup the day we know.
Yeah.
A national team JC.
Okay.
Into school no more ba obia.
No more yen your fe.
On them. Oh,
We take the decision no. Yeah, no ask why. What position be?
on them.
O ba no
Oh,
position.
number 10.
Oh, area Duro.
Onyx, Esme Musa, what if the call up comes same time for Sir Franco Naro's child? Onyx Sunaji, about the same time.
And AJ, we know me and we decide. Oh, now we are unsa akrane kobo final.
Yeah.
And yet came on this coincidental or fray. And I'm so we call Umukobo Mulika final.
Okay.
And I'm the 2 video on it.
Oh, you can, okay.
And on this catcher and say, on candy or pay no renia or betamon.
Yeah.
And indeed, and I cry and say, Uniakitano Canums on PS5.
Okay.
Okoeno, or movie or mobile pine or catching the teammates and saying the uncle are promising a PS5.
Wow.
So Mourinho, so they show in the game for him.
Okay.
And they won by 2-1.
Wow.
Now one is Sato a PS5.
Oh.
And they are coming on match.
Nice one.
God bless you, man.
Honest, I had.
Okoje, yeah, that's it. Or that's why. That's pa.
I still out here for you now some now.
Oh, so about Babuan when I take his decision.
Decision to go.
I will take care of you. This is a Buama Osasana dream. Level I do. Decision to take care of you, but just say, Buana Osasana dream. Mind you, Ghana and I promise and I deliver. Or yeah, Emma wins, you know. So, Bano is only born boy, papa. Young question, me Caragans more there to the Afa Thomas Partey Semiho. This is an absolute disgrace from a tournament planning point of view. You spend years building towards a World Cup, qualifying, preparing squads, getting everything right, and then something like this happens days before kickoff. It's just not acceptable at this level of football. If Thomas Partey is part of Ghana's plans and has been cleared to be in the squad, then how does it get to a point where a visa issue knocks him out of the opening game against Panama? That is not football. That is administration failure. Wow. That is not football. That is administration failure. I don't care who is responsible. FIFA, Canada, immigration. Someone has to take accountability. You cannot tell fans to invest emotionally in a tournament and then allow situations where key players are missing because paperwork wasn't sorted in time. Oh, at the very least, these issues should be resolved weeks before the match. It's unfair on the player, it's unfair on Ghana, and it damages the integrity of the competition. This is exactly the kind of chaos that should never happen at a World Cup. Jami Karaga and this handsome way and so ato edwa. Okay. Yeah, there no so see amra no kwa na eko dumienu and I say page your videos kakra and so ye pese ye te ho nsem kakra. But yentie the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Honorable Kofi Adams, efa tickets nsem no so eho na fi yen twaso kakra bi. Refikala and so ewa ha. Obaso kan ho bia ya me pentema
Oni asem bia ka o se wa take decision
obaso kan ho bia me pentema
o so do ba e kwa boy England
Saturday.
o so do ba ko boy England yo
ya din na tiro kan bia na
oni asem bia ka o se wa take o se say wa take wa ton Ghana
O ba ro afa na pomo no.
wa ton Ghana
ono a wo England and also obama ne baso abama England
yeah wa ton Ghana waka
all right Yanko Honorable Minister for Sports and Recreation sem kakra odia to dwana area BYT so
Acting will have to be involved for tickets to be transferred. Okay. That was why when the MPP minority deputy whip was making all the allegations he was making, I was so surprised because the person who is coordinator of tickets for Ghana is Fred Achampong. And everybody knows Fred's political affiliations. They can call him and ask him. You can call him now and ask him whether as minister or anybody on my behalf from the ministry have asked for even one ticket of all the tickets we purchased, the 3,000 tickets we purchased, whether we've asked for even one to be transferred to anybody. No. The tickets still sit. We see it on our dashboard, but they still have a certain level of control over it because when we instruct what must go where, then they will then do the transfer. But you have an MPP person either in parliament or on the side, the corridors of parliament, make allegations that he knows very well at the time he's making the allegations it was false. Just the same manner, another MPP communicator earlier, even before we started the visa application process, came out and announced that we had given MPP 150 slots, of which 100 had gotten their visas, and that he was thanking us. They did that to create a certain level of despondency.
Some doso but celebrity can earlier no ye ne achisu di nkomo Fred Achampong na otiero plenua onani ekre Blackstars omo base ho enti ye ne kasa efa ticket issues no any the honorable minister eka say sa Kofi tickets ni nyina wo ho na wo wabodin say wo ho na ewo de nya no credit say NDC na control tickets no the money supporters we any nsema achisu edito enim
Black
ticket in the South Africa, my no. Nina digital, and my first download the FIFA app no. And just any ticket in the email. About email me so download the FIFA ticket app na baba app no so direct. And my ticket no activated the day before the match and now benya barcode no. Now that FIFA so mo prevent black market racketeering ni resale ni no man mo some control ni na. Nti sana omoya no. Nti ticket na me first one as omoya FIFA ticket ayeton the microphone so mo to ni the GFA forward no and na me ticket man jam first show and the about that in the order ni na man nti ni na ndi no bewo aban ho ban ticket ndi no bewo aban ho and the some products and for to need them for a part no and then the animu ehwe ma wo but you know aban ho dey aban ma Ghana supporters in the Ministry of Youth and Sports no and the bewo money so adaroma. Nti so be pese or tickets maybe you know so ticket at the bit my contact GF and about contact me e be dey nim na be FIFA ho ma no ticket FIFA allocate my Ghana na dey asa nti say no yeah acquire self you know on order to be pan ya order of FIFA mo fe last minute sales no my review every week be review here dey be mo dey about for resale be obi ato ne nko be obi ato wanya visa na normal ana space obi ano ntimi order mo koshema mo ano makaso ma approve ntoma approve pe na me twaka me de visa card de twaka na mobility ticket na me na me so maseni ama nkofoko na mo pe na pakro na open na maseni ama no and any process you do mo say na tickets no na obe I think 4 phases the initial one of them you know, participating member association and a football community. No, we are no be general sales, no group sales. Timing the group sales now, no, Ghana. Timo there we number second phase and no mobile last minute sales. Say na cause last minute and I last minute cry. I don't say 2 days to match biano. Omo close ticket sales. This is Ghana and Panama. I have bonus, you know. 17th, 15th, omo close. Into be at a sort no, and then before 15th. England won 23rd. In England, she won 23rd June into 21st, omo close into so be so order. Yet my order of FIFA nom da my no but omo approve ya nature say the card it here. Now me will jam na me so send ya money back no. To say na take process in it here. Adaroma. Into me the free ticket anymore. Ma me repeat bio. I buy a ticket omo the man supporters and I see free ticket anymore. Maybe the FIFA ticket and you hear anymore idea anymore tomango fan as you ton. And then I me so adaroma. That's pay.
Free tickets I the man call for no achisi enini ho. Osi nini ho. Ticket ono no ye dey send nsa ye ticket manager Emma Ghana no. Adwuma ono ye ne say ticket man for person mo to the question World Cup. E wo FIFA aswe ya. SS through FA no ye to sa tickets nya no sa ho adwuma na oye. Nti de edi sikato. Eno ho adwuma de send nsa. Nti wo so nya ticket akwa obafa so obonya ticket ni ade nyina no. Eno de. But say free tickets I de be ma manfo e de akohwe bi ban de atudwa se Ghana for mo e wo Canada ene US o beso mkohwe match no ye pe kwan bi so na ya masa ankofo ni nyina free ticket no de achisi ni nyina wa ban ho eno na control sa ticket no nti na de ho so eno no kala so say nya de kro
jo de ko dia o se utie questionnaire no nipa na obusa question no se utie de o kana don de minute o se utie de o kana o se sa ticket na is me copy ticket free dia eno de o nya bi o me ho o se eno de be wa ban ho no be wie no se that's it eno ti de minister no
the minister kan na man for adwen ko ye o mo say free tickets na ye di ma amon for mo akwohwe matches no from Ghana ana ba bia no ati ne control ni nyina wachi ho we ma Joshi binom e wo Canada me namfo wo Canada omo de WhatsApp messages abrem sisi say tickets no minister say ni nyina wo achi ho nti ne be kwa be ne be fa so e benya bisa free tickets ni bi ko yen o Toronto e be say ko Ghana ne Panama game me kan message ni wo ha sisi and am de ko match and am chere say minister kura say tickets ni nyina wo nti mi sero bo am nkofo mo Canada And a man this a video audio
yeah. That means we are releasing the amount by no.
Free now by home, Pacho, or sitting in our by home. They yet tono and on yes. Doc, a muka crya.
General, omunko money di ne do baby ana edin kakra. Yeah. Because omode nkomo fans who than politics.
Politics, yes.
Uti first deputy minority whip Habib Idrisu. Nkomo, I think they are part of the Nkomo sports minister and so responded to. The community tintin ni titi mu nyina no kwayese Ghana ban sika odito ticket. No de ama Ghana maimba. E de akota Ghana Blackstars echi e World Cup no. NDC for ma NDC ma supporters anase omo party for omo nkrofo di nyabi. Clearly or delve into politics. Into minister no response no, you don't expect it say beba devoid of any politics. Omo politics. I even think that subsequent year we any new phenomena. I say he wasted your time on it. MPP was what omo de dodo na bemo omo nkrofo. NDC was what omo de dodo na bemo omo nkrofo. But a chinsem na kind of super me ya Atta says minister some kind of entirely true. Say take it no eni omo na nipa ohweso no kra na ye ure champon a obi anim ne political affiliation or ye MPP ni yenti ase biem say nipa achi position no enya aban ene de ma no eye FIFA any dealing with Ghana Football Association and pay any position in Ghana Football Association as an ESCO member, the FA decided he should do that job. So it's not even like Abayano, even though a MPP ni Abayana man kwai man and now the 2 million man yes ejuma. The bottom line ankasa ye say take it now Ghana by eto. Near see di so ama Ghana ma kon take it no way. And him for ninya take it no send ye share no. I think that's the most important thing. And minim so say take it in processes no. Say you allocate bimawa unya evidence trace amount take it in ni binti wo kopa visa wo de sa dance no ebeka ho e de akose wo ko akohwe World Cup inti before you get even the physical ticket and I say take it in beba o dashboard no so kra no to say GFD utobia omobema a receipt from the FA wo de be attach say me ko akohwe ball me take it a me de ko hwe no enie ana mato ticket no who receipt ni ticket ni ready embassy for ni. So I'm thinking say indeed one politicians are more slots. Yes, they are all Ghanaians. Politicians are more slots. Omo be more dance die kire say omo take it omo de ko hwe World Cup. So at that stage no mo didin komo no ehfo e na mabo omo ano ho ba magigi omo nkrata ana say mamo nkrata e kire say omo fanko apply e hon komo na Habib mu edi no. It's not even about why not take it in no. And
so why will the minister refer to omo pese artist omo pese omo nya tickets ni ade na ni nyina wachi ho tinye NDC senka dream die bi bemu a nka nyo bi oye MPP na tickets ni be ko no ho ni sansem ni nyina na achi be kasa de eto no nko na wo me ho ana me coordinate ne mom free tickets ni de nyina o ministry so
Kofi Achambo won't mean take na kanisika beso. Ghana ban even honorable Kofi Adams or no personally a bad den so be chesa take it no. And yet the Ghana ban the sika eto. And now say ya appeal for fun. Ura Ibrahim Mahama mo a donate sika we ma donate sika say sika ni be the to take it. Na Ghana for ne their support bia me bia ko. No mo so a mo hoda da no a mo nya take it ni bi ne mo bi no mo de akota Ghana echi. Enti how would an ESCO member be the one with free tickets?
Oh, wow. Okay, Entina, and also I don't know. Honorable Canada, the award in the Afro, no, also in the Ato Eja.
One thing is clear: yeah, it has a recipe for chaos. A beka kofa when chew and jaba say anye and your meya. senior onamfo no e ka kyerɛ free Canada no saa na e na mfo mo Brampton na e ka kyerɛ sɛ look obi amfa ticket bi ama obi a Canada High Commission ni see M5 emails mra almost omonya 50,000 emails ye nim ba bi e benya ticket no but the nim say ticket no watch ho so that thing is already out there and I could feel clear say on the only ticket be on 2 per free ticket kwa buy ho
yes Josie message no de brem ni Toronto Canada or say good evening and no de brem bro can you please contact Achi to help me with a free ticket for the Ghana Panama game. According to Mr. Kofi Adams, all the Ghana tickets are in Achi's possession. You see, messenger, I'm the free Toronto Abraham. About 4 or 5 of them, I said, be kind of be okay, you look at videos to send Chakra, but BYT, Boemuka cry, who do you ever find here and Sana? You have videos. Oh, there was a necessary days or corner rounds now. Time to summer, no, about my man and can you, Kala. Okay,
yeah, you know,
Saturday, because you may eat. You may one the fun. Okay, and trust me.
I am
Motivation here.
Oh, dear. So the one only be a trust you.
So yes, a jollof then go.
Oh, they
pay as a jollof, sir.
Kala.
Today, I didn't
we are doctor.
Hey, Kala. As a real office, so we've been a minimum nominated. I didn't know actually. We need 2 the 3 man now. On from Peru.
I go.
Yeah. Hey, Kala, okay, you go. You go.
Yeah, you know, as I World Cup matches in San Bebasu. The woman said,
no, okay. You go.
And now World Cup favor, and now exactly 16 years, Ghana, and so Uremu. 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
Now you share your opening match against Serbia. You hear the power penalty and as Samoan. And they say you munya red card. Now pressure and die soon. And after the red card, you be pona na Ghana. And so handball by and now you penalty. Baby jet a boss in 2010. Sam is 13 June now about the FIFA World Cup opener. You group was South Africa. Now in 71 so Ghana any Togo ball draw AFCON qualifies and yesa ku PM was South Korea President Cup ye tia mama be bring teams ye ni PSV and over nyina boy na invitational tournament and so Ghana she Sudan 3-1 semi-final stage of 1983 President Cup I was South Korea sa match so na PSV and over na share 3-1 yesa ku shia Yukton ye share womo and you need 2 points into your last match and also yes now you team qualify for semi-finals into 83 you qualify for semi-finals January 1993 week 10 of Ghana Premier League na baso ba na outstanding match and on any break did chatwa kotokwane has a ball amateur league answer by professional 93 by last season of 93 no league game about so Kumasi Joe watch take aba kuma kotoko hwena na Benadayi ene Masaudu Alasa ma be se kotoko 2-1 first half no match first 2 goals by e Kumasi ansa na kotoko Joe watch take aba ko dia ma kotoko referee FK Mensa ene di sa match na ne enso exactly 33 years kotoko e be share has be share kotoko week 10 outstanding league match Kumasi break twato musia wo amateur liga na enso so ansa na professional in December 1993 general ene matches me and say basoba de Africans ani wo mpa ne say Morocco betimi aye the second African team obehye Brazil wo FIFA World Cup na when oman Cameroon the last edition share Brazil share yam nwotwe emu nso o ma share World Cup nim Africans yentimi Brazil kura when it comes to World Cup Brazil be ebo ayonkofa kan sie ni ade a yetimi ha o ma dwene pa but when it comes to the World Cup ayɛ den for ɛyɛ African country a obetumi ahyɛ and since 1934 Brazil for elusu opener ɛnyɛ adeɛ a the last 20 World Cups ɔmakɔ lusu opening game and ɔmokɔ opening match a ɛyɛ na ɛkɔ yie de mo ɔmo paa sɛ 34 lusu yɛ ɛtwa toɔ when na Spain hyɛ ɔmo na 1930 so Yugoslavia ɛhyɛ ɔmo World Cup ɛwɔ yɛ deɛ pie mu ɛwɔ Uruguay bredi kan a yɛbɔ FIFA World Cup saa first 2 editions no ɛna Brazil lusu yɛ the last 20 ɔmo akɔ ɛyɛ streaker obi antimi nhyɛ wɔn ɛwɔ the opening match ɛba so nti when na Morocco so World Cup so ɔmo akɔ nyinaa general ɔmo nhyɛ opening match o Morocco kɔ World Cup bia ɔmo opening game ɛyɛ na yɛ difficult ɛde ama ɔmo pa but 2 teams no abɔ FIFA World Cup game da 16th June 1998 ɛwɔ France 2 teams ni hyia yɛ ɛma Brazil ɛhyɛ ɔman Morocco 3-0 Ronaldo ɛyɛ Rivaldo Bebeto 3 goals enough for the Brazilians when our more confident the awura mu akɔ nti ɔmo hyɛ Morocco group stage 1998 if you ɔmo nhyia biem afi ɛna ɔmo kɔ akɔhyia but ade a ehu ni sɛ Brazilians no when it comes to the World Cup opener ɔmo yɛ ade nti Moroccans nso ɛbɛkɔ akɔ o hwɛ the FIFA ranking na top 10 we mu pɛ na wo top 10 ni mu ɔmo miti we to so nsia we to so nwɔtwe and Brazil to so nsia ɛwɔ atwede no so when na Moroccans no nwɔtwe the last World Cup ɔmo kɔyɛ ɔmo timi ɛkɔ semi final stage a ɔmo ɛte Africa nimpa na ayɛ den yɛ best ne sɛ ɛbɛkɔ quarter finals but ɔmo timi try saa mark no ɛto aso wura mu the semi final stage a ɛnneɛma ntimi anko yɛ ama but baabi a ɔmo duru yɛ no ɛyɛ biaya Africans nyina no ɛbɔ ɔmo aba so na general match baako so a mehwɛ pa yɛ Australia Turkey Asia AFC Confederation countries na ɛwɔ the FIFA World Cup a 4 a ɔmo ahyia nyina ɔmo hyɛ ife from 1954 a ɔmo ɛhyɛ ɔman South Korea 7 ɛwɔ ɔmo akansi ɔmo hyiaeɛ and ɔmo ahyɛ 14 goals na ɛte ɔmo when ɔmo concede 2 South Korea Japan Korea host year when a Turkey call semi-finals echo ball 3rd place no the tiane say South Korea no ɔmo hyɛ ɔmo 3-2 now ɔmo so free South continent 20 ɛyɛ na ɛdin ɛdema ɛyɛ AFC for no say Asia for no ne ade say ɔmo hyia ɔman a your friend say Turkey a ɔmo betimi akɔ but Turkey ɛnya ade wɔ ɛyɛ the opening match a ɔmo abɔ World Cup first one ɔmo lose to West Germany ɔmo sa akɔ obiem ɔmo say lose ɛyɛ the opener biem nti ɔmo nso no ɛnya ade when it comes to opening game a ɔmo ɛbɔ ɛwɔ the FIFA World Cup 2006 2002 deɛ ɔmo anhyɛ ase Brazil hyɛ ɔmo 2-1 but ɔmo to aso wura mu ɛkɔ semi final stage ɛkɔ ball 3rd place but sɛ ɛyɛ opening match a ɛnya ade ɔmo yɛ adeɛ koraa when na Australia nso ɛhwɛ animu sɛ 2006 ɔmo hyɛ Croatia ɛwɔ opening match but ɔmo nso matches a World Cups ɔmo akɔ nsia ɔmo akɔ nyinaa no baako pɛ na ɔmo ahyɛ opening match o Australians no nso nya ade nti 2 teams wey teams a ɔmo hyia and me nya surprise say betimi anya a draw game anase ebekɔ in favor of Turkey but ebe slight win ebi a 2-1 ebi a 1-1 betimi asi anase 3-2 score line enso betimi aba but oh share the FIFA World Cup oman the last 5 editions if from 2006 what lose matches do to pa Australians no the soccer rules of Australia even including Ghana ye no omuhia ye na mu aye den e de ama omo na e wo South Africa ye pre draw e wo sa game nim no the omnisi ye no omohia omabo 17 matches omo lose 10 nti in terms of matches Australians no e ball with the FIFA World Cup no the last 17 games omo lose 10 the highest omo bia no awa pair World Cup matches dɔso sa na wa lose 10 ewom nti emu nso de ade say either so omo be hye bi anase omo be draw by emu 10 omo lose wo proud to meeting eno so so and omo coach no 2006 when omo wuram na omo say opening match against Croatia e de akono na oye member of oye key member wo team nim na mekire Tony Popovich Guseden kitima odo omo wuram na oka ho nti this time as a coach obetimi aboa na o de the soccer rules enso ade awuram Haiti akọ World Cup baako in 1974 na saa 74 no ene ne bredi ka de red card e ba ya ye show ye na ohwe Africa na ye nya DR Congo so akọ na one of the greatest players and omo grace occasion DR Congo na AFCON in 74 why top scorer mechere Pierre Ndiaye Mulamba ko World Cup no anu su kwa akodi red card was 74 World Cup nim no de tia ne say Oman Haiti koye concede 14 goals group stages nko a nti South Korea pe na in 1954 concede 16 goals 3 group matches boy the second highest Oman Haiti this time sa babiem ba be say FIFA World Cup ko ye de amo ana against Scotland Scotland so and so more in terms of World Cup no and so ya ba form kakra since 1998 yen share who the Scottish national team say opiem with the FIFA World Cup nti you know no say a match any be but possible best over 65% echo say Oman Scotland ebetimi anya win over Haiti na since 98 no almost wabem and almost opening matches o mabobia no je na anya de niam ntimi ekoye de momo and lastly Switzerland versus Qatar and so a match any be whole year pa say Switzerland best ever World Cup say 1954 host year no timi wura mu the quarter final stage but you know the omni say Switzerland national team no build ade bia ye nyaa ni hwe unum say the last 6 year tournaments makono tra group stages akọ the knockout stage ne France pen ekuta sa record no but France dey no take it back 7 tournaments. But if from Euro 2016 and Brazil 2014 World Cup they about 3 major tournaments in the World Cup and of course the Euros no ni nyina no free group stages nim the banti against Qatar and yema ebetimi akoyi na Qatar nso host World Cup when timi anye successful is as a host nation ono elusu FIFA World Cup opener omope o sha de sabo ye nyina nzam yensa omo host no bi alusu Canada about draw US share and America share